You might be thinking, COBOL on the mainframe. Am I going to need punch cards and a tie to get through this? Well, first of all, no. You'll be happy to know that we're going to be teaching all this with Visual Studio Code, which as of right now is the most popular editor used worldwide. Visual Studio Code, or VS Code for short, supports something called Language Server Protocol, which, simply put, makes it able to support a very large number of languages and environments. So the things you'd expect to be there, like code completion, workspace symbols, hover text, references, and diagnostics, can all be supported without it having to be specifically written into VS Code itself. It gains functionality through extensions, which use the Language Server Protocol, or LSP. We're going to use extensions for VS Code that give us all the goodness for COBOL, as well as allowing us to connect to a real-live mainframe system. So after you download and install VS Code, hop into the Extensions Marketplace and search for IBM Z Open Editor and hit the Install button. While that's installing, do the same for Zoe Explorer, Z-O-W-E. That's the simple version of things. For more detailed instructions on installing the extensions, visit the book version for the full details and screenshots. Couple of basics. Once you're in, you'll also notice these vertical lines. Very important for COBOL. These are the margins. Those margins segment each line of COBOL code into its various parts, which we'll get into later on. Just know that it's easier to see whether your text is starting right next to a line than it is to count empty spaces. So lines, good. Also, if you hover your mouse over some fields, a little pop-up box will appear showing you additional information. Just know that this will come in really handy when you really start hacking away at COBOL code later on. And you may also notice that some words get displayed differently than others. That's all part of syntax highlighting. It just makes things a little bit easier to understand at a glance. And this bar across the top, that's the breadcrumb view. It shows information about what line you're currently at. Click on any element in that breadcrumb trail, and it will highlight the block of text for that element. It'll also show you a little outline view of the code over here. Lastly, down at the bottom of your screen, there should be a panel with a Problems section. And if it's not there, go up to View and select Problems from the Editor menu. You can click on the problems that is found, and it will jump right to those in the code. It will find basic logical errors without you having to run or test your code. It just knows about those problems ahead of time. So you'll definitely want to fix those as they come up. Got all that? I'd say you're ready to dive into some actual COBOL. So let's go.